Okay, Kim, here is a question from Arunaba in Brampton. I'm a grade 2 teacher, and I suspect that 3 of my students have dyslexia because they make a lot of letter reversals. How do I know if these students have dyslexia?
Ooh, that is a very good question and a very common question that I get amongst teachers in different districts across Ontario. Well, first of all, letter reversals are quite common for young children. My own 2 daughters, Mia and Sophie, did regularly make letter reversals, specifically with the letters B and D, and sometimes mixed up on number 9 and letter P. They are not dyslexic. What I have found is that just explicit regular instruction of the letter B and the letter D and showing them that these letters are printed differently. For example, the letter B, we start with the bat and then we do the ball. And so we start in the sky and we go down to the grass. Whereas for the letter D, we start with the magic C and then we go up. And when we say the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and then that kinesthetic motion helps students differentiate the letters B and D. Whereas if we let kids explore with the letters, all they're going to see is a line with the ball. And it's a 50-50% chance whether or not they put the line on the correct side or not. And when they're reading the letter, they're not going to know, they're going to also guess, and it's 50-50. Also, there is a long list of red flags to look for dyslexia. Letter reversals are not necessarily the best indicator if a child is dyslexic. That's not to say that dyslexic children don't make reversals, but it certainly isn't the key characteristic to look for.
And I would say for the B, just while we're on the note on this point, the best strategy I have found to definitely teaching them how to print the letters and how to print them differently is one. But then when they're reading, I just have my students have a B hand. That's it. They have a B hand. They don't have a D hand. They don't have to figure out which one is which. It's very simple. It's a B hand. The D is just the other guy. Right?
Yes.
So they're always just using this hand to help them. But again, when it comes to dyslexia, it is not about letter reversals and visual problems and words moving around on the page. It's about not being able to distinguish sounds and to be able to blend sounds and to be able to connect sounds and letters when reading and spelling. So it's really more, have you done a screening with your students? Arunaba, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing a PASS test and get a phonemic awareness screen. That is going to tell you more than you will even imagine, because you might have students who actually seem to be reading quickly, but they actually have dyslexia, and it might not show up the way you think it is. So we need to go to the Ontario IDA website. Let's look at some facts about dyslexia, and let's do some screening, universal screening with all your children, because the B and the D doesn't
It's
tell
not a good
us.
indicator.
It's
Well,
not a
and
good
my
indicator.
daughters have very, very, very close friends who are dyslexic, and even in an older age, at age 12, still have a difficult time hearing rhyming words and hearing the alliterations or beginning sounds and being able to manipulate sounds and words. And I think it's some indicators, some more valid indicators of whether or not a child has dyslexia or not would be their ability to hear rhyming words and to be able to identify beginning sounds and words and really engage in oral language.
The other thing is that students with dyslexia will surprise you. They might have really superb oral language skills. They can listen, they can answer quickly, they might have fast processing, they might have a huge vocabulary. You just don't know until you do a phonemic awareness universal screener. And then you can assess, can they manipulate sounds and words?
Absolutely.